before the sun hits the screen door frame. The coffee's gone, the horses are fed, and the past comes back with a name. Old clips rolling like fence line tape, boots in the dust, big dreams in tow. Tonight I'm chasing that familiar sound on the time machine glow. If you want the stories, if you want the spark, hit rewind and listen. We're lighting up the dark. The country music news roundup. The country music news roundup on the country music time machine. The country music news roundup. Right on back, right on back. Brings the whole town back to me.
Nope, Morgan Wallen ain't got nothing on my walkout. Morgan Wallen, I dare you to walk out of a chicken coop. I tell you what, folks, I just had to have some fun this morning. I think I need to change the song in the background there, but I thought I would bring that up as I take my headphones off. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Country Music Time Machine as I just toss my headphones on the floor here at the Pack House Recording Studio. Hope you are doing well. Please get in the comments. Let me know who you are, where you're from. I'd love to say howdy to you. I see that J-Cat and Double D Double R was in the background enjoying the walkout. And I did that this morning because maybe I'll do it every morning, because if I run that thing a couple of minutes before I go on the air, sometimes I can work out some problems that I'm having here in the background that I was actually having this morning. So, you know, me making fun of Morgan Wallen's walkout was perfect for today. But actually, I got to talk about Morgan Wallen this morning, coming up in a little bit, and I'm not going to make fun of him. I'm going to praise him. Stand by for that. We got stuff about Morgan Wallen. We got stuff to talk about tattoos. Tattoos in country music history. Yeah, we're going to cover that this morning. And also, we got some more political craziness. Somebody got upset with me about something I said about the country legend Hank Williams. So go figure that, you know. But that was the theme song on that thing, was the theme song for something I used to do here called the Country Music News Roundup. So I think I'm going to have to edit it to add a song about the country music live show that I haven't really named. I don't know. Maybe I would call it the Front Porch Podcast, but I'm not on the front porch. I'm upstairs in the Pack House Recording Studio, so I can't name it the Front Porch Podcast. Can I? I don't know. It's too confusing for me and too much for me to keep up with. But like I said, whether you're tuned in now live or you are tuned in via tape delay, as we used to say in old school radio, let me know where you're dialing in from. I think it's so cool as we take roll every morning to know where you're from. If you're in the States, give me your city and country, or your city and state, unless you're on the lam from the law, of course. But if you're outside the U.S., we get a lot of viewers from Ireland, South Africa, Cambodia, England, Canada, Australia. Did you know the number 3 country for watching the Country Music Time Machine is our folks down under in Australia? We love you folks. Thank you for tuning in. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on this morning. Give us a shout out in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And I want to remind you that our big video of the week is Jerry Clower. Talking a lot about Jerry Clower this month, because this month is is the anniversary month of when Jerry Clower passed away. So got a lot of Jerry Clower comedy bits, and I released this last Friday because a lot of folks have no idea who Jerry Clower is, even though they laugh at him a lot. But this looks at the life of the legend, Jerry Clower. So it's on this channel, whether you're tuned in on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook. You will find it in here somewhere. Look for it, and you should enjoy it because it's a cool episode talking about the legend, Jerry Clower. But J-Cat saying, change music to Walk by Amanda Ferris. I'll have to look that up. The question, J-Cat, is it a real country song? But I can't do that, J-Cat. If I put the Amanda Ferris song on this channel, they will either, because it's live, it'll either be bleeped out. The police squad from YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook will come and arrest me out of the Pack House recording studio because playing stuff live is really, really crazy, you know. So I doubt I could do Amanda Ferris, you know. And Double D Double R says, sure, you can front porch. It's just a good cliche for good country podcast. Well, I may bring it back. I mean, I still got that video where the drone camera is flying into the front porch, and I couldn't do the podcast out there anyway because it's like 100 degrees in Tennessee, and I would probably die while I was doing a live little broadcast here. So, you know, just the way it is. All right, let's bring up Morgan Wallen. I'm going to talk about Morgan Wallen, and I've busted Morgan Wallen many times on this show, you know, on this channel for many reasons. Mainly, the main gripe I have about Morgan Wallen is most of the stuff he releases is not really country music. It's more rap and hip hop and things like that. So I don't like that. But there's a few country songs of Morgan Wallen that I do like. They're cool songs. The other problem I have with him, has anger issues and sometimes throws things, whether it's at police officers on Broadway in Nashville or off the stage at his concerts. But I want to bring up something right now that I want to praise Morgan Wallen about. And it was a walkout. Not sure when this walkout happened, but he always like shows when he's going on stage, you're going to a Morgan Wallen concert, you're sort of seeing him walk out. I'm not sure if that's really a live video of him walking out or a tape one, but it's pretty interesting. You know, a little goofy for me because he's always like, you know, doing the rap signals and all that stuff, which as an old fella, I don't understand. But anyway, I wanted to give a shout out to Morgan Wallen. What he did in Baltimore, Maryland is pure. Let's watch this. As you can see, he's coming out. He's from backstage. But watch him as he comes out and see who he teams up with here. I've turned the sound on this down a little bit. I'm going to put my headphones on. That's what I do. Because, of course, that song in the background is not a country song. It's a rap, hip-hop song or something. But look who he's with. He's with a sailor and a Marine. Morgan Wallen, I salute you, brother, for doing this. You got all your fancy stars coming out on stage with you all the time, and you know, you're sort of pushing that kind of thing. But, you know, I love you did this. I'm just going to try to see if I can get the screen to look a little bit better here. But yeah, Morgan, that is a class act walkout right there. And, you know, I don't know much about the Navy fellas, the sailors, but being surrounded by Marines most of my career, I can speak up and brag on the Marines. All right, let's talk about fake Facebook stuff right now. You know, in the old Front Porch podcast we had here on this channel, I often talked about fake stuff and how it got on my nerves. And you got to understand a lot of the content on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok for country music is total AI. It's not real people. It could be real people sitting in Korea somewhere or the Baltic states. doing, just feeding out stuff to get views. And this is an example of one of them. Look at the picture on the screen. You see here, Journey Through the Golden Era. Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn defined the heart and soul of roots music. What the heck is that supposed to mean? Roots music? And where'd you get this horrible AI photo of Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn? I mean, come on. But it gives you an example of some of the crap out there. So please, folks, don't fall for this. Not a lot of views on this little post because it was only like 3 likes or whatever. So, but some people were actually thinking it was real. But I think the biggest fake crap on the internet about country stars is Willie Nelson. And it keeps going on and on and on. According to the internet, Willie Nelson has died probably about 375 times. And I guess he just keeps coming back to life. Here's another one where Willie is in bed with an oxygen mask on, a cowboy hat. I mean, come on, people. Don't fall for this. But this one, a lot of people actually fell for. Pure crap, AI-generated stuff. And believe it or not, they make money. This channel, you can tell we're not AI-generated because sometimes I screw up really, really, really bad. But yeah, the Willie Nelson crap is out there all the time. This is recently from August 8th. Breaking news, panic and horror swept through the packed arena as global music icon Willie Nelson suddenly collapsed mid-performance during tonight's live whatever. Another fake stuff, and people, oh, I'm praying. People are chiming in on the comments. Oh, I'm praying, Willie, we love you. Come on. And this from May 19th, of course, one of those other ones announcing Willie Nelson's his death. But, I think Willie Nelson and his people need to release daily news updates, and he'd probably get 1 million views on it and make a lot of money, just saying Willie Nelson is still not dead. And he actually came out and did a song a few years back about not being dead, And Double D says the pictures look more like Red Fox. And Red Fox is a great comedian, too. I love Red Fox. But anyway, so Willie is still not dead, folks. I remember I did a broadcast last year sometime and brought up a clip of Willie Nelson being dead. And, of course, he was 2 miles down the road while I was talking, doing a concert with Bob Dylan. So don't believe this crap you see on the internet. Believe it if you see it here, because we actually really work hard to bring you this news. We don't get it right all the time. We screw up sometimes. But we bring you the real stuff. And proving he's still alive, the Willie Nelson family is still doing concerts. We got one coming up August, I think it's August 19th in Minnesota. So if you're in that neck of the woods and you want to see old Willie Nelson, who's still not dead, go out and check out Willie. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. All right, let's talk about Jerry Clower again. Sunday, I put out a video about Jerry Clower talking about racism. He did this video in the late 70s. He was talking about public TV broadcast and everything. So yesterday, I did a response to it because the comments on the channel just went nuts with political crap and people fighting and declaring civil war on the comment section. Well, I did a response video yesterday, and even the response video, when I tried to explain to the people, listen, this was made in 1977, 78, Jerry Clower was not woke. He was just speaking about racism and how bad it was back in those days and how that clip was appropriate for the time, but people on the left or right can't prop up Jerry Clower now and say he's a savior of our cause because he was just speaking on his mind. Just a good Christian fellow, a good, nice man, and everybody who's commented on his videos, including some of his family members, have just said he was just a simple man who loved the good Lord and didn't like racism, and we all appreciate that. But even on yesterday's video where I was talking about people being stupid about putting their political comments on the frickin' video, we got more people. There's some evangelicals in the USA are now trying to cancel Dolly too. She's the sweetest soul. I agree with that. She is the sweetest soul. Who knew Jerry was a communist? And it just kept going. Conservative Christians always push bigotry. He wasn't woke. He was a Christian. Yeah, I mean, come on, folks. You know, I guess anytime I have to do a political video on this channel, I've got to just turn off the comments because we're still fussing and fighting in the background, and that's not what Jerry Clower would want. So if you're fussing and fighting about politics on a Jerry Clower post, you really need to find more productive things to do in your life because there's got to be more than that. And, you know, I've got friends that are left. I got friends that are right. I have my political beliefs that I think are my business and nobody else's, and I don't want to preach it to anybody else. But, you know, I never understood the philosophy of people posting on Facebook and YouTube about their politics other than the ones wanting to get money for clicks. But you're not going to convince anybody of what you're saying. You believe what you believe, but you're not going to change anybody's mind. People are pretty divided, and, you know, I just wish we could be kinder together and love each other more and just enjoy country music. That's what this channel is about, not about politics, but I had to turn the comments off on that one because people were hating each other in the background, and I ain't going to have that. My mama raised me better than that. All right, let's talk about things happening today in country music history. August 11th, 1952. If you love Hank Williams, who is probably of any genre on earth the most influential person because he affected everything, you know, by what he sang, what he wrote, you know, from gospel to rock to country. So many people were moved and affected by Hank Williams and his brilliance, you know. But on this day in country music history, the Grand Ole Opry fired Hank for chronic drunkenness. It was an addiction fueled by his use of alcohol and morphine to dull the pain from a hunting accident. And, well, I got somebody upset by this post as well. Here is what Bright Results Media said. Hunting accident, he had spina bifida and chronic pain from it. If you're going to talk about Hank, make sure you get your facts right or straight. That's the greatest songwriter of the 20th century. I agree. Hank Williams is the greatest songwriter of the 20th century, but nothing I said in that little short or reel was not factually correct. It was totally factually correct. Yes, he did have spina bifida. He had a lot of medical ailments, but in a YouTube short or a reel, you can't. You get 2 or 3 lines. You can't explain someone's multiple chronic medical conditions. He did suffer a fall during a hunting trip in Franklin in late 51 that sort of coincided with him taking more pills and drinking more and getting kicked off the Opry. Those are the facts. He did have spina bifida. So people, you know, why do people on the internet just waste all their emotions on negative stuff? I say we love each other and congratulate each other more and just be kinder because, you know, the fact is that Hank Sr. had lots of problems. And speaking of Hank Sr., next week I will be in a little town in West Virginia. It's the little town where they actually found Hank Williams Sr. passed away. Now, you might think that's morbid, but I'm going to be covering country music history all along the East Coast this coming week. And one of the stops I'm going to make is going to be in Beckley, West Virginia, and in that area where that last ride of Hank Williams Sr. took place. So, yeah, it's something we all should think. Gracie is online right now. Gracie's asking someone what state you're in. I want you guys to put it in the comments. It's just so cool. That's how I get my entertainment daily, is just seeing what y'all put on there, you know. And, yeah. Double D says, but I often say the state of confusion, Wisconsin. WA is Washington. And JCat is in Portland. So, yeah. All right, let's talk about some more stuff on this day in country music history. The lovely Dolly Parton. There's even people out there that hate Dolly. Can't figure why that is, but there are some out there who hate Dolly. She hit number one on this day in 1989 with a song called Why'd You Come In Here Looking Like That? I love that song. And I think, and I'm sure that Bright Song Media or someone will correct me if I'm wrong. Usually J-Cat corrects me, but he's a heck of a lot nicer about it. But I think that was Dolly's last solo number one song. She had a hit song with Ricky Van Shelton, I think in 92, Rockin' Years. And she may have had another one a little bit later. No, I don't remember. But her last solo number one song, according to the un-AI-generated brain of this old country boy, was Why'd You Come In Here Looking Like That? All right. Why'd you come in here looking like that with a Dixie Chicks tattoo on your foot? Well, on this day in country history, legendary country music history from this day, the Chicks get their first chicken feet tattoos. The Chicks, then known as the Dixie Chicks, and I got to tell you, I've got chickens that I call the Dixie Chicks behind my house. I got 9 of them, and I still call them the Dixie Chicks. They're not as, I guess, politically correct. They're just, since I live in Tennessee and they're chicks, I just call them the Dixie Chicks. But yeah, they got their first feet tattoos back in the day. But, you know, if that is a real photo, I got it off the internet, so it may not be real. But why? Don't get your boyfriend or your girlfriend's name on your tattoo or your band. Because look what happened. If this is a real tattoo, they had to get it. They had to get the Dixie crossed out and put the Chicks on there, you know, so that cost them more money. But, you know, I reckon tattoos are cool. I have a tattoo, and I have initials on my tattoo, and I'm going to show it to you here in just a second. But the initials are not of my girlfriends or my ex-girlfriends, of my daughters. But let me show it to you. If I can get it out of the way, can you see it and hear me on the microphone? It's got a couple of parts. The first tattoo there was Superman, and Superman was put there before I was deployed to Iraq in 2007. I wanted to get a tattoo in case, you know, the bad guys got me, and so they can identify me. I guess a lot of folks do that before going to war, I reckon. But anyway, I got that tattoo, and I had my daughter's names written around it, you know, or their initials. And then when I was in Vladivostok, Russia, I got the rest. I got the American flag coming down. So, yep, I like to talk about patriotism, and I reckon show people a tattoo I have that maybe they didn't know I have and probably don't care. But it sort of relates to this day in country history when the Dixie Chicks got their first chicken feet tattoo. I am not going to get a chicken foot tattoo. Or will I get a tattoo of my chickens? They're just my chickens. And they lay 56 eggs a week. So if you're in my neck of the woods and you want eggs, come by and see me because we can't eat them all. All right, also on this day in country history, Kenny Chesney releases and Everybody Wants to Go to Heaven, the lead single from his album Lucky Old Son. Track went on to reach number one on Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart. If you love Kenny, you can think of today and when that song was so big, went to number one on this day in country history. All right, let's talk about some birthdays today. Our first, as I look at my paper here, look at my notes, this fella is celebrating his 80th birthday today, and he was born in somebody up in Kentucky. We got viewers in Kentucky, so I want to say the French pronunciation, Versailles, Kentucky. Is it Versailles, Kentucky? Is that where John Conley was born? Because I already messed up, you know, a county in Mississippi on another video where Jerry Clower was from. I called it Amet County. It's Amite County or Amite County. I probably screwed it up again. But yeah, you know, Is it Versailles or whatever? Is it Amit or I meet? I don't even know anymore. My brain has already left. So yeah, I will screw up a county name, city name sometimes because, it's like in and around Middle Tennessee, folks that are around here don't call Nashville, Nashville. We call it Nashville, Shelbyville. We don't say the Ville, so it's just the way it is. But happy birthday, the one and all John Conley. My favorite John Conley song is not Rose-Colored Glasses. It is Common Man. I'm a common man, drive a common van. My dog ain't got a pedigree. Love that song. Great country songwriting with a voice like John Conley. It was perfect. So happy birthday to old John Conley. Also happy birthday to Priscilla Block. They call her a country pop singer from Raleigh, North Carolina. She celebrates her 31st birthday today. She gained national recognition in 2020 after her song, Just About Over You, went viral on TikTok. I'm sure people were complaining about it in the comments section when the video went viral, because I think if the good Lord came back and put up a video on TikToks, people would probably complain about it. But she's still going strong. And I've got another thing about Priscilla as she celebrates her birthday today. She did something pretty cool. She, her concert or a show she was part of, after severe weather forced the cancellation of her outdoor festival set, Priscilla Block surprised stranded fans by moving the performance to a local dive bar, treating the audience to an intimate acoustic set of Just About Over You and Thick Thighs. All right. Way to go, Priscilla. Just show must go on. Some people just get sick and walk away and don't care. Priscilla cared. She did a great job. Thank you for doing that, Priscilla. Also, today we're thinking about the passing of one person. If you haven't heard of her, you should know about her. She's important for country music history. She lived to be 109 years old. Violet Hensley, they called her the Whitland Fiddler. The Whitland Fiddler. You can say that 3 times fast. And Silver Dollar City legend dies at 109 years old. Crafted her first fiddle by the age of 15 in 1932. Good Lord. Whatever she's eating and drinking, we need to copy whatever Violet did. Wow. She hand-built 73 fiddles over her lifetime, performed for decades at Silver Dollar City, and appeared on the Beverly Hillbillies, The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and the Grand Ole Opry. And she passed away on August 7th. Not last night or whatever, but so we remember it because it was just a few days ago. So yeah, a country legend you probably didn't know anything about, but an important lady and one who lived a long time. And Double D says, rest in peace, Violet. And I agree wholeheartedly with Double D on that one. And one more little news story before we close up shop here in the Packhouse Recording Studio this morning. Let's talk about these lovely ladies. Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily Gold previews new music project. It's an ACM, they're the ACM award-winning sister duo. They detailed their upcoming musical releases, new studio work following their breakthrough year on country radio. So if you like Tiger Lily, you got more stuff coming out from the one and only Tiger Lily. All righty, folks. That's all we got for today. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me as we do every weekday morning, same time, same place, same Packhouse Recording Studio. It is time for me to turn off the microphone, go feed the chickens, collect the eggs, and all that stuff. So I got to reverse my course from the video you saw coming in from me walking from the chicken coop to the, studio. So anyway, until next time, you folks have a good time. Love you. God bless you. Check in with us tomorrow at the same time. Until then, y'all be good. Take care of each other. And as I always love to say, let's please, hint, 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 Morgan Wallen, let's please